Speaking of things that might be coming to streaming, I did the Mark Millar comic Huck.
Hmm.
So Mark Millar recently got caught up in some online controversy. Uh, go
Yeah.
go to look up any channel that talks about comic books. Look up their videos from about a month ago. It's
Yeah.
about the guy who basically accused a lot of modern comic writers of not writing the characters, but writing self-insert fan fiction instead, and he was right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the course of this, I heard okay. So Mark Millar, and it's spelled Millar, but he's either Scottish or Irish, so it's different. Uh, but he has a long history. I actually reviewed one of his comics last year, or the year before, King of Spies.
All right. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He has it basically. He made his bag with series like Marvel's Civil War, The Ultimates. Then he went on to create her own things and made a lot of money off of selling the rights to Kick-Ass and what was that one
Uh,
movie that like there was that one where it was originally supervillains but they turned it into spies for the adaptation.
Kingsman. Oh no,
Kingsman.
Kingsman. No. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No, that was Alan Moore.
Oh, that was Alan Moore.
Like
Um,
there was some action movie with Angelina Jolie where
oh, Wanted.
Wanted, that's it. Yeah, Wanted was originally supervillains, but for the adaptation they turned it into spies,
Oh, okay.
which is funny to think of a time when Hollywood would prefer not to have superheroes in a movie, but that's neither here nor
Yeah.
there. um, a while back he set up he teamed up with Netflix. They bought his Miller World company. And so at this point, the comic books that he comes out with are part whatever the hell he feels like making, part, hey, maybe we could adapt this into a Netflix show or movie.
Yes.
In fact, actually, no. So some of these comics I've got do have a Netflix marquee on them, but this one does not. So,
Okay.
but I have heard that this one is coming out to Netflix as a movie at some point.
Okay.
The origin of this one, and I actually read an article where he was selling or where he was hyping up the book. Now, the reason I gave that preamble about him coming up in the news recently is because that's what led me to this comic because I saw it mentioned as a thing he had written, and I was like, "What's Huck?"
Yeah.
It came out in 2016, and it was basically his reaction to Batman, or excuse me, to the Man of Steel, where Superman snaps Zod's neck.
Uh,
Which, mind you, is not Mark Miller is no stranger to hyper violence and things like that. Uh, yeah, he is
right.
the guy who wrote the Hulk saying that Thor hitting him over and over again with his hammer was only making him horny for Brandt or Betty Ross.
Yeah. Yee.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's not Mr. Innocent, but
Yeah.
watching that triggered something in his mind where he said like he had always separated just regular heroes like James Bond or Han Solo, who would just kill people the ordinary way, from superheroes like Superman and Batman, who were just fundamentally nice people who could solve a problem without a body count.
Right. Yeah.
And he made him want to write a story about a character like that.
Okay.
So Huck is actually kind of interesting because he is a exceptionally kind but learning disabled man. He was found on a doorstep many years ago, and with just a single note on it, "Please love him."
Mm,
And so he was raised by at this orphanage, and he was raised to do a single good deed every day.
okay.
But Huck has some extra talents that other people don't. He can just find things that should be lost.
Hmm.
He's exceptionally strong and fast. Uh,
Okay.
like oh, just uh, and but he's this town's well kept secret. So like he goes through his diary. Good deeds I did this week. Monday helped farmer Weathers remove a stump he couldn't from his field.
Mm,
Tuesday, uh, you see him like walking through a drive-through, and then he just puts a stack of money on there. I'm buying lunch for the three people behind me.
Oh, okay.
Um, so it's like his good deeds range from like life saving to um,
Yeah.
to completely mundane and petty.
Mm, okay.
And what happens is a new person moves to town, and she realizes, because one of the things that I believe he finds out about a bunch of girls in Africa who were kidnapped by Boko Haram, or not Boko Haram.
Yeah.
What's the actual name of it? Because Boca Raton is a
Okay.
place in Florida.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's here. So good deeds he did. Took out trash for the entire town. Bought lunch for everyone in line behind me. But good. Yeah. He saved some missing fishermen. And then he's watching the news, and Boko Haram, that's it. Boko
Okay.
Haram kidnapped a bunch of girls, and he just goes down to Africa because he's that fast and everything.
Okay.
And uh, he just brought a whole bunch of candy for these girls. He beats up these assholes who kidnapped them. He gives them a bunch of candy and says, "Hey, please keep it a secret." And when they're rescued, like, "What happened? What? Oh, sorry, it's a secret."
Yeah.
Because everyone's just super nice, right?
Yeah.
But this new neighbor who he helped find her missing chain, like a gold chain,
Yeah.
uh, she sells him out because, like, well, now that he's done this thing with Boko Haram, everyone's going to want to know who this guy is. So they sell their story to the news media,
No.
and it's all of the fallout from that, like he getting involved in politics, finding out about his origins.
Mm,
And that's as far as I want to go because this is a strong recommend. Like
okay.
this is a what $15 graphic novel new. Uh, and it is just one volume. And I can't tell you how I was actually pretty disappointed when I found out that it was a one and done
Yeah.
because I would read more stories about Huck. I just had a big smile on my face the whole time I was reading this because it was very nice just to read something that was well written about a fundamentally kind and decent person.
Yeah. Huh. Hmm.
So good work, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah. I will. I'll definitely have to give that a read. Yeah.
Also, because I always forget this with comics, props to the artist Raphael Albuquerque, who it's like a very I don't know. It's like there's something kind of maybe just the way that Huck himself works. That's a little bit Norman Rockwelly,
Yeah. Hmm.
but yeah, it's like it's just very well drawn, and yeah, I have nothing. I would if I had any critiques, they would just be exceptionally petty. So I won't
Yeah.
make them.
Okay.